all set. We're all set and ready to go.
Are we live on YouTube?
Yep. And Gazzy, you ended your stream?
Yeah, I had to wrap some stuff up before the show.
Okay.
All right, all good. Just want to make sure. Let me get Gazzy's camera a little bit bigger.
Yeah, he looks just really tiny compared to us.
That's not gonna happen in real life.
Definitely not. Especially
That's
considering
where
I'm
the tiny one
person.
here, right? I'm the tiny.
I'm tinier. I think I'm
you're both.
shorter. I
you're
think we're both
short.
the same.
What?
Actually, honestly, we're both like 5'6", 5'7".
Yes. See?
Are we good to go?
Yeah, we're all set. We're all set.
All right, I will bring us in then. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Path to Exile podcast, episode 48, partner with Mobalytics. I'm Cal Torak, and joining me per usual is Miso Shiro and Dead Rabbit. And if you're new here, we have our audio-only format on Apple Music and Spotify. So if you prefer to listen instead of watch, check us out over there. This week, we have the real Minion Lord. It is Mr. Gazzy TV. How are you doing this week, sir?
Fantastic, except I had a horrible start of today.
What happened?
Well, I woke up in the morning, figured I was going to get some breakfast. I opened the door to the fridge, and the fridge door broke.
Oh, what the heck? How does that happen?
Did too much power.
Beats me, man. Yeah, I don't know my own strength, I guess. I got the fridge door on my toes. I started, okay, I got to fix this because I said I was going to be live. So I started pouring shit out on the table, trying to fix it. And then as I did that, another thing broke at the door, and there's food all over the floor.
Oh, no.
And this is like super early in the morning. So my fiance wakes up. She comes out in the kitchen. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing, guys?" I'm like, "Okay, I'm stressed. Like, leave this room right now. I'm trying to fix this. I'm stressed. I'm already late." She just looks at me, says, just go live. I'll fix it. And then 7 hours later, I get a message. We have a new fridge coming.
Oh, no.
I haven't been to the house yet. So there's a new fridge there, apparently.
She fixed it.
I mean,
That's
I don't
the stuff
think
that
it would be
happens.
that hard to repair, but anyways, that was my start of today. Other than that, I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. I want to ask you about your interview recently that you did with Mark and Jonathan. It became like probably like now it's comparable. Like before, it was my favorite interview with the devs I'd seen so far, and now I really like the Zizzer one too. I guess maybe it might be recency bias, but what is the prep work that you do going into these interviews? Because like it felt like you guys were much more loose in this one, but like what was your mentality in the work that went into this interview? Because I absolutely loved it.
Well, it kind of depends on the stage, right? So we talked to them about certain questions of if we could ask certain questions and whatnot prior to the show, and they didn't want to go into nitty-gritty details of mechanical questions. Like most people don't care about it. We do, like veteran players and streamers. Like a lot of the people watching the streams might care about those a lot more, but the vast majority of people watching don't care about them. So we pivoted away from those type of questions and kept things kind of open-ended. So I mean, most of the interviews, them yapping, but as it usually goes, which is always very nice to see because we just ask a question and then we don't stop them when they start going on, and it's just beautiful. So that's usually what we do. Some prep work is just looking at what kind of stage which questions would fit the situation. So that's about it.
What are you guys' thoughts on that interview?
Like you already said, I think the last two interviews were the best ones we've had so far, and I think it will also just show. It's not. I think it's also not only, of course, down to obviously the right choices in the interviewers with Ziz and then DM and Gazzy, obviously, but also I just felt like that Mark and Jonathan in general were just much more loose a little bit. I do feel like it has
a
a lot.
Drinking red wine.
Yeah. Was it red wine though? I don't know,
was
but that is
Destin, I think, wasn't it? Or Legendary
No, no,
Drops.
no,
Which one
no. There was
was?
definitely
no.
it was definitely
That was your
yeah. I'm pretty sure it was your podcast. Jonathan out there at 9
YJ.
a.m. in the morning or something like that. 8 a.m., 9 a.m. out
Oh,
there
you're
with a
right.
glass
Sorry,
of
I
red
keep mixing
wine.
the wine. Yeah. Sorry,
That's
that
amazing.
slipped my mind. Yeah. I think he did
That's
it on one of
amazing.
the other interviews as well. I don't know. I like it. It's RF farming, if anything. I mean,
Yeah.
questions or whatnot is like, um, I didn't ask any minion questions. I'm sure people noticed that. I didn't go off on a classical gassy 10, 15-minute minion rant. It's the same concept, right? Where most people don't care about it. We have a large portion of the community that do care about it, but the podcast is not for those people. It's for as many people as we can. So it's the same concept there. They're not asking or bringing up topics that only caters to a small corner when we have the privileged position to interview these guys in front of the entire community. Then we have to make sure we cater to the entire community and not small corners of it.
I also just feel like it's always such a mistake, and it just didn't happen in those two interviews, and that might be, or a large part of the reasoning might be that the 0.5 update was just such a home run, and there's not really a lot to talk about when it comes to like, oh, why did you do this way, and why is that not? I think that's always the biggest mistake that anyone can do in these types of interviews. Just rattle out different like, how when is this gonna be fixed? Why did you do this way? Are you gonna buff Chayula? How are minions gonna work in this? And that's just always the ones where I'm just sitting there and I'm watching the interview and I'm like, yo, that's not how you do these things, because these guys, as they are, and they are probably as close to the pulse as you can get as people leading a game studio of this size, but so, they're not gonna have answers for that because that's not how this whole thing works, kinda. And I just felt like that's why the two last interviews were just so amazing, because they were talking about just the experience so far, some funny anecdotes about all of this, and how they feel like it is going towards the future, what their plans are, and how they look back on what they've done, and what their own feelings on, or their own feedback would be on what they have done now with this update. And I think that's just perfect. Of course, it works much better when an update is as good as this one. Like this, uh, the was it the 0.2 Zizarin interview? If you just compare these two interviews, it's like it has a lot to do with the quality of the update, obviously. So the 0.2 interview with Zizarin, you were watching it, and it was like, oh God, please. And then 0.5 is just all happiness and everything. So yeah, it was just amazing to see. I think we can be very lucky to have people like that at the helm of this game. So
Hey, we got the sockets fixed, right? For like the innate skills, whatever you call them. We now get
skills uniques.
yep, the unique skills. We now can use jewelry orbs on them. That was a big W. And
Yeah.
DM approached the topic of Hex Blast. So, maybe we'll
Dude, that
finally
blew
get
my
that
mind
fixed.
when I think Mark's response was like, we haven't even like looked at it. I was like, no, we've been screaming about Hex Blast for so long. Please save it.
I have people in my chat keep talking about Hex Blast. Like, I feel so bad for them because like I don't care about it, but I know a lot of people do, and it's completely unplayable in the current state. Like, maybe we should mention it.
It was a good mention. I'm glad. Yeah, there's just so many interactions, and like from their perspective, their scope is so big that it makes sense that little things like this can slip every once in a while, and sometimes you just got to scream it in their faces. Talk about how this patch has been pretty awesome so far. Gazzy, what is your thoughts on 0.5? And if you were to rank it out of 10, what would you give it?
I mean, there were some server issues and whatnot in the start. There are bugs, still some bugs. So I don't think that any league launch will ever get a 10 out of 10 for me, ever. Because I think those things are inevitably always going to be there. I'm at a 9.5 out of 10. I thought that PoE2 would take another year, maybe two from now, before PoE2 was going to become a better game than PoE1. I think that with 0.5, I think PoE2 is better than PoE1. And don't get me wrong, I love PoE1. Like I love PoE1, I really do. But this update, I'm on my 5th or 6th build now, and I still have shitloads of things to do. I haven't even done all the daily nodes on the tree or the ritual. I've barely touched the expedition stuff. I have so much left to do and so much content to engage with, and it's just been absolutely amazing. And there's so many more builds I want to play with. And I don't know, like at first I was concerned about the months and months we're gonna have between now and 1.0, and I'm no longer concerned. I have so much content to do.
That's crazy. You're in your 5th or 6th build. I thought I was going fast on my 4th build. That's awesome. And you still have so much more to do. Damn. That's cool. I was not expecting to hear that you were enjoying it this much. I'm having an absolute blast with it, but that is cool to see that you are churning through builds so fast. You have a favorite build so far that you've played?
The last one. So I have a guy that's been with me for a few years now. We always theorycraft and make builds off stream for many years in PoE1. So when PoE2 came around, his name is Lolash. So I have a guy called Atros who's helping me with PoE1 for the written guides I do. So he does the writing for me and some of the theorycrafting we do together. But in PoE2, Lolash has been, front and center when it comes to helping me out with theorycrafting builds. And we've been playing around since launch day, and it's been absolutely amazing. So he does all the writing for me, and to divide and conquer to see how many builds we can, churn out basically, and see what we can do and play around with finding the golden nuggets. We split up a few days ago, so I did a project on SRS, and I wasn't very happy with the result of it. I think a Gemlin would have been better. I did a Lich, and whilst I was doing that, he was fiddling around with a Gemlin for Unearth, which I started playing yesterday. And we just posted a build guide for that today, and it is without a doubt the most craziest shit ever. Like, you have 60, 70 minions, and one of the biggest issues with minion builds is usually aggro leash range, to make sure that they're aggressive enough to get to targets and all those things. And it's just a bit annoying, so you have to weapon swap to convocate them and all those things. This build has the same problem being aggro range, but it's the opposite side of the spectrum. The minions are so aggressive and so fast that they outrun you to the enemies. So when you play the game and you're mapping, you don't control where you're going. You go where your minions are going, or they will despawn.
That's awesome. Damn. I was hoping Unearth would be. I think I played Unearth in 0.2. We never really get to have minion discussions on this podcast. I think Miso's played like maybe 1 or 2 minion builds. Rabbit, have you played a minion build over PoE2 yet? Yeah, so we almost never get to talk minion stuff.
I had a very bad experience in 0.3, and that has scarred me probably for life. So I started with the minion build, I think it's 0.3, because there was like a patch note situation where I thought all the patch notes led me to believe that minions are going to be a perfect league starter in 0.3, and then there were a lot of hidden changes or stuff not mentioned in the patch notes that changed a lot about minions. And I actually, I think it took me like 8 hours to get to Act 3 or something, and I almost rage quit the league side stream and everything. And then I went, and then I think I just went to EDC, and I never looked back. That was a traumatic experience that you've just unearthed in me.
Well, for minion builds, unless you're twinking your character, you don't level with minions until you hit about Act 3. Then you switch to minions for most builds. And some builds you level with whatever you're doing as a leveling build till you're done with the campaign. The Gemlin Legionnaire is a perfect example of that. You don't switch to minions, even if you twink it, until you're kind of done with the campaign. And then you switch to minions. But, that what you mentioned with patch notes, that is a common theme for the past 12 plus years in PoE, where a lot of things that affect minions are very often not part of the patch notes. And just generally speaking, there's a lot of changes to things that has nothing to do with minions directly impact minions. So you kind of have to like siphon through and like really, really fine comb, pull out everything in the patch notes to get the entire impact it has on most minion builds. Less so in PoE2 than PoE1, but still. Like, I remember a couple years back, well, many years ago, they changed the mana multiplier percent on unbound ailments or whatever it was, which just gave specters back then. We used to run some cold specters. It just gave them like 15% more damage. It was stupid shit. it's just a mana multiplier change with a completely unrelated gem.
Yeah, minions are really interesting. I've played multiple minion builds probably every patch, but they're always like kind of weird minion builds or like pseudo minion builds. But like minion builds go through like they just get the weirdest changes or updates. Like this patch specifically said something like in late game, minion builds are doing 20 to 25% more damage on average because of a bug fix. Like there's no elaboration on that, and like I don't know if you know what was the fix was, but like it's just random stuff like that that happens all the time with minions, where it's just like, oh, our damage just got a bunch better because of something that we don't know of that was like hindering us. Like that's what it feels like to be a minion player from my like loose perspective. It's just kind of chaos.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. And we have a handful these days, fewer in the past, but a handful really good content creators in the space nowadays that makes really good content for minions. We have a kind of a nice corner in the community, like the global channel I made many years ago, the 6666. There's plenty of people in there as well. And a lot of things are siphoned out, and people kind of have their corners. Like, for example, like for general information, we have a guy called Trudy who made the PoE Spectre wiki page, for example. It's fantastic work on that. He's testing all the Spectres. So I don't have to do that anymore, which is really nice. So we just wait for him to do all the testing, and then I can just base my stuff around the testing results that he's doing. It's really comfortable. So we have a lot of those things. But yeah, it's a lot of weird stuff compared to many other builds, but I also think that minions are probably among the hardest things to balance in the game for a variety of reasons. But what's funny with minions is like they've only ever been considered the best at something very few times in PoE 1 over the past 12 years. I don't think they've ever been considered the best at something in PoE 2 ever, and that's with the current state of the monkey being completely overpowered. But what's really cool with minion builds in general is that then they're very rarely or never best at something, but they're always great at everything. And that's the kind of thing I like about it. You can use any minion build for both clearing and single target. You can use it for league starting. You can do low budget, medium budget, high budget. It just covers everything you want to do with it, and it's just a really nice playstyle.
Do you think that's a design philosophy from GGG where they don't want minion builds to be like consistently very good, or is it just like because they're hard to balance, it's hard to make them consistently good?
I think that it's a bit of both, I guess, maybe. Outliers are very easy to pick up on. So the ants, for example, was back in the day when we had the cocaine ants. They obviously not summonable anymore. I don't think that the crit modifiers in the monkey will survive. Because you picked up a crit monkey and then you trivialize the entire endgame for bosses. Like you just one shot or two shot them. So I don't think like those outliers are easy to pick up on. And the times where we've had minions being quote unquote the best at some things, like Syndicate operatives in PoE 1, for example, was bugged, and when that was picked up and fixed, that killed the entirety of that. They haven't really done much with the Poison SRS, which was used by Ben and among many others in the hardcore races many years ago as well. So I mean, I think that it's just easy to spot the outliers before they reach the live content that is preventing that from happening sometimes. But if it's by design, I don't know.
Gotcha.
I feel like minion AI in Path of Exile 2 is like a constant kind of thorn on the side. I don't know how it is compared to Path of Exile 1 because I've never played minions in Path of Exile 1, but I feel like it's constantly a thing that people talk about.
I mean, one of the ways we tackle it in PoE 1 is you don't play the game by running up to a pack of enemies, keeping distance, and then sending your minions in. You don't do that. You bomb rush straight in, shield charge, frost blink straight into the pack. You click convocate, and then the enemies evaporate. Whether or not the AI is bad or not, it doesn't matter because they're right on top of the enemies. They will start doing their damage, right? We have not this possibility in PoE 2, but the way we create that possibility is to weapon swap to do the exact same thing. So there's been an interview last year where the convocation topic was brought up, and the argument was that if they were to introduce such a skill, it would have to be like a long cooldown, or you had to do something else before to do it, maybe generating charges to do it. I'm just sitting there thinking, we're just weapon swapping to do it anyways. Just give us a skill gem, because the weapon swap playstyle is atrocious. It's really good for builds like Infernal Legion Elephant is a crazy good build, for example. And the way that's played is you run and you weapon swap consistently, just over and over and over and over and over again. You keybind weapon swap and right click, and that's what you're clicking. And it's just a boring and really atrocious and horrendous playstyle, in my opinion. So I'm not sure how or what they'll do about that, but I like minion builds that don't weapon swap. So like the Acolyte of Chayula minion builds that don't want to have your minions dying, so you can't weapon swap with it. It's really fun to play. The build I'm playing right now, the Unearthed, don't weapon swap because the minions are so fast. But yeah, AI is definitely a problem, body blocking and whatnot. Biggest issue we had was melee minions not being able to AoE. They solved that with the belt splash and the minion splash support. So now we see a lot more variety of minion builds being playable.
I briefly saw on your stream earlier, by the way, you had the maximum rage nodes. Does that apply to your minions?
Well, there's a node, I think it's called Commanding Rage, that gives minions...
that's right. That's right.
You can give them rage as well if you generate rage, but I'm not doing that. I just want to have rage, and then based of how much rage I have, the minions gets damage and attack speed.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Miso?
I was going to say, I feel like in my head, because I talked about this in length before the league started, because I was watching Jung Roan do like campaign practice with his Infernal Legion, and he was also just like weapon swapping constantly, and everything was just dying. And I'm just like, this can't be intended. This has to be not what GG wants the gameplay to look like. And I was like, well, I think like just a very elegant solution would just be to make it so that when you weapon swap off a minion and you weapon swap back, the HP of the minion like stays where it was before, or maybe like it's like regeneration applies normally. So it's like if it's off your bar, it'll have like an instance of those minions that are saved in, and then it'll regen during that time, like normally, instead of just resetting the HP back to 100.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like the weapon swapping in general. There was this last gasp tech where people used minion instability, which they did fix. Basically, you would have minions go up, explode, and die. But because of last gasp keeping them alive for 4 seconds or 20 seconds of Tech Cross Revenge, they weren't dead. And then before that timer went out, you weapon swap them back and forth, and they would have full HP to explode again. So every time they exploded, you weapon swap to keep them exploding over and over and over again. It was just, I just can't stand the playstyle.
Yeah. Something I don't like about minions is muster specifically. And it's like a comment I get a lot. I don't know if like what your feeling is on muster, but I always get like comments like, I don't want one of every minion. I just want to do this one minion, or with supporting fire specifically, it's a minion skill, but you scale it with muster. I think it's like what 56% more damage if you get like enough minions, or maybe even you can probably get more than that. To me, for at least my weird minion builds I do, I feel forced into muster because it's just so much damage. There's not much other damage. Like, there's not really much comparable. What is your thoughts and your community's thoughts on muster? Like, are you fine with the state of it, or... Yeah, I have no idea how you guys feel.
Well, for most minion builds, if you do a build that has a large variety of minions, you usually have them for a purpose, right? Normally, you would have Rattling Scepter Warriors with Sacrificial Lamb to use for offering. You would have a cleric because they're cheap, and that is a muster scaler, but that is just an extra fodder when with your spirit to resurrect dead minions in case that happens. Storm mages are usually there as a shock bot to apply shock. So it would like the extra minions you're running that is exclusively for muster is like another Reaver or a Brute, or maybe you smack in a Frost Mage. Like, it's really not that. If you look at it objectively, there's really not that many minions that is added for the exclusive factor of scaling muster. I don't mind it that much because the other minions do serve a purpose and are there for a reason, and I would probably run them even if I didn't have access to muster. So it's really not that big of a deal in the end. The builds I've enjoyed the most to play right now, like the Unearthed build, don't run muster because I only have 2 different minions. Well, three different minions, but 2 reviving ones that muster would affect. So like I don't use muster in that one.
Gotcha. Miso, Rabbit, you gonna play? Go ahead, Rabbit. You're muted.
Yeah, I just had to look up what muster is. I'm sorry.
We never talk.
I'm not minion. I'm not minion coded at all. Like, I mean, we had the number 2 minion player in the world last 2 weeks ago with like Captain Lance. So now I need to get my knowledge up. Now I know what muster is. Thank God I can do these things. Well,
it's what you put on your hot dogs, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. We have very good mustard here in Germany. We take mustard very serious. I have 3 different kinds of mustards in the fridge right now. No. I know now. I will play at one point. I will play a mini build. This is a pinky promise right now.
Try the Gemlin build. I think you'll like it.
Gemling now?
The Gemlin Unearthed that I'm playing right now. You should try it out.
Oh yeah, I mean,
crazy.
Are you gonna showcase it later? So maybe.
Yeah, it's on the notes.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Then I have like 4 other builds planned right now. It's a mess. I just realized yesterday that this league has been going 3 weeks now. It does not feel like that for me. I don't know about you. It does not feel like that for me. Last league, after 3 weeks, I definitely already felt a little bit of like, I'm not bored or anything, but it's like, yeah, okay, I can definitely feel it. This league still for me feels super fresh. I feel like there's still so much on my list. I am still incredibly motivated to do builds, to try out farming strategies. It's still I still have like this league launch feeling for me in my head. So it's I really hope that Gazi's build ends up, which it probably won't. I really hope it ends up looking like shit, because otherwise I just add another build to the list of builds that I still want to do.
Let's be real.
Mine's still 1.0, man. You got time, bro.
Yeah,
you got time.
I got time.
Let's be real, Rabbit.
That's
It's a minion build. You're not gonna play it. You're gonna play something else.
I think it was okay. Well, I will say I will play a minion build before I play a melee build. How about that?
My man. Okay, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Melee sucks.
Yes.
You have 2 melee guys. I mean, I guess I wouldn't say I'm like exclusive. I mean, I don't think Cal's exclusive either, but I feel like we both.
I'm
like
playing my second bow build of the league. I need swords so bad. I'm so tired of bases. I can't do it anymore, man.
This is Carl Gun right now. Next video, he's gonna open up with, "Hey guys."
I was thinking about making a Sanctum farm video. There's a type of relic I've never farmed before. I forget what it's called, the Banner or the General or something. It drops a ring from Zarok at the end. And one of the rings, the Sapphire one, is selling for 20-ish divines right now. It can sell up to 100 divines if it corrupts well, or if it rolls well. So that's been a fun
you just farm for the vase? And
I'm just farming for vases, and then, you hit the ring and, it's a jackpot.
Okay.
ATDs are the vase is 1 exalt. It is you do it every run for free. But yeah,
it's been a drops. There's a Atlas passive tree that gives you 8% chance for your tablets to not be consumed. You guys been utilizing that?
Yes.
So you guys, I'm guessing you're talking about Vision of Paradise and the forest stuff on the like Jade Isles and Garrukans. So I did that. I bought 1 set of them, and then I used those 2 tablets for 8 runs in a row.
Same. It happened to me, dude. I thought I was bugged. I thought I was bugged. I was scared. I was like, should I keep doing this? Am I going to get banned for like duping the maps? Like I was getting scared, and then eventually it just stopped. But it happened to me too last night. I had like 9 in a row. It was crazy.
I had 8 in a row, and today was the first time one of them disappeared. The other one stayed. So they procced again. 8% my ass. I was like questioning, am I just being astronomically lucky, or should I bug report this? Because I didn't even know what to do. Like, if I get 10 runs in a row, I'm reporting this, and then I
had the same thing happen to me last night. I was like starting to get nervous if I should do more, because I was doing it off stream, and it was just like, I don't have proof of me not cheating if like GGG sees I get 3 Garukans resolves doing this, but the tablets just weren't going away. They were just there for so many maps. That's so funny that happened to you too.
Once again, Kalturak, bad boy of the PoE2 community.
Stop.
Just
exploiters.
Furthering the stereotype right there. Wow.
You thought Gun was bad out here, getting mirrors for white items. Kalturik's out here exploiting tablets.
The worst. The worst.
Wow.
Yep.
I do like the I do like the new mapping though. Are you enjoying the new endgame mapping system, Gazzy?
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of it. Like I think PvE2 endgame in general is just way more fun. I never liked the whole concept of, hey, I'm gonna do this one map 1,000 times or 2 or 3, 4,000 times this league. I just can't stand it. I also make most of my currency profit crafting, so I don't really care what kind of map juicing I do. So I bounce from one strat to another, just whatever I feel like doing. And it just makes it more fun to do with the current setup as well.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
It's very interesting because like in the past I was always like the type. Well, I mean I still am. There are still very much maps that I like and maps that I really dislike. But since doing ritual farming, I don't know if you've done any of the Right of the Nameless farming at all, Gazzy, but it forces you to run some maps that are potentially not so fun to run. Let's just say.
Lots of Sun Temple.
Oh, Sun Temple's actually good this league.
I hate
Are you
Sun
not using
Temple so
Jado?
much. I'm using Jado, yeah.
Yeah, it's just random maps every time. I haven't picked a map ever.
I don't
so
think
far because
I'm
I'm just
using the
running
random
Jado.
map anymore.
I don't use the random
think-
maps
I
node.
don't think I'm using the random map
What?
right
It's
now.
one additional modifier.
Yeah, so the
I-
modifier is nice, but today I thought it was a temple thing that because I haven't dived in too much in temple. You know the synthesize thing to get your body parts upgraded.
Yeah.
Yes.
That shit happens from Jado maps. Apparently, I learned that today. So
Oh
I was
yeah, I've
like,
seen
what?
that map.
Yeah, so now I'm never gonna go away from him. Like I use Doriani just to get the jumping so I can speed ahead to get the bosses and more Jade Isles and whatnot. But now I'm never gonna touch anything but Jada because like you can get a mortuary map and get that square map. You run around the edge and when you come back you fight the boss and now you get the limb upgrade. I'm only
which
running
node is
Jado
that?
now.
It's the random maps that
top
can
left.
spawn. Yeah, you can get
Top left.
very special, unique maps that only Jado can give you access to.
I never gotten a unique map from him. No?
I've gotten 1 or 2 maybe. They're pretty
One?
cool.
Okay. You mean you on those maps you can also get the limbs that you usually get in
Yeah.
Temple?
Yeah.
Wait, haven't you been in Temple so far?
Well, I've been in temple, but I just do it zero rushes.
Ah, yeah, okay. Because I've been doing Temple a lot as well, and I always had
I
like a
know.
little setup on the side. Yeah. Yeah. I was way too
I've
long in
seen it.
Temple then yeah. I mean, it made for some good content, I guess, but I almost lost my sanity. But we got it in the end, yes. But I had like a little
Yes.
setup on the side where I had a specific room setup that I always could go back to get limbs, and that is still going. So, and a lot of people are still sleeping on it. I think it's due to the fact that 0.5 once again got a shit ton of new players, and it's very noticeable. I don't know if it was noticeable in your chat, Gazi, or Misos or Kals, but it was definitely noticeable in mine. I think first of all that's amazing to see, but also at the same time it just gives so much opportunity for people to discover this new stuff that a lot of the elitism is always just like, oh wait, you didn't know that? And yeah, limbs, for example. If you're listening right now, you can get kind of permanent. I mean, if you
Until you
don't die,
die.
they're permanent. You can get amazing bonuses on your hands and feet in the
They're really
temple.
good too.
If you didn't know, they are really good. It's for casters. It's 8% cast speed or 9% cast speed, 10% reduced movement speed penalty when casting, which is crazy. Mana regeneration and I think curse magnitudes is the other one because you can't really do the double anymore, which is unfortunate. But yeah, really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as
I'm not gonna go into temple anymore though.
As a spellcaster player, as a spellcaster specialist, yeah, definitely, good stuff right there.
Mhm.
I've been doing a lot of ritual. My complaining point for I don't know how many of you guys were doing the 7 boss fights at once, but that was probably the most fun I have ever had in an ARPG ever. Was fighting 7 bosses in a ritual circle at once, and they removed it in the most recent patch. And I understand why they removed it baseline because I'm guessing 95% of builds struggled with that. I mean, just it makes sense. So you don't have big AOE. You're fighting 9 bosses or 7 bosses at once. That's rough. But I'm gonna be begging them to add it back as like a Atlas node or something because it was the most fun I have ever had in an ARPG. It was awesome fighting 7 bosses once. Gazzy, did you get to play with the 7 boss stuff?
No, I never did. Ritual is one of the mechanics I haven't dived in too much in. But yes, I agree. I've seen it in action. I definitely think that it could be really fun, and taking that away made me not want to go into it because I was about to, and the patch kicked in. I was like, yeah, you know what, fuck this. So I do hope they add Atlas Passage to enable that for people. It will also speed the process up of it for the people that run builds that are strong enough to do it. So I definitely think that should be one of those choice things on the Atlas tree.
Yeah, I was going to comment about the speed thing.
It's so slow now.
Yep, because on your like last ritual of your Rite of the Nameless, and you're just sitting there just waiting for it to spawn. It's like, all right, it'll be nice if this all spawned at once, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's like you said, right? You understand why they did it, but in practice, it just came out to be like for the people who liked it, just a much worse experience. I do think that the Atlas Passive Tree, though, does give them the opportunity to do cool stuff like that, where you do get a choice. I think the Atlas Passive Tree, there's a lot you can do there right now. I think there is definitely has its pros, but also there are definitely some cons in there that exist that I would like to see them improve upon in the future.
Rabbit, did you do the ritual 7 bosses, or was that
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. I think what you said, having it as an Atlas node or something, I think that could have been an option if you because then it just opens up what you say. I also said, and like you said, I understand how they removed it because it's probably just unfun for certain players. But then perfect opportunity to actually make it into a node, because then you can choose, because there are other nodes on the ritual Atlas tree that basically make ritual super rippy, but you get more tribute in return. So, and that node is actually so rippy and so strong that I'm really not picking it even on my build, because it can ruin your ritual basically, because if you die and you don't do the Doyani revive, your ritual is done. So they do have that. So why not have it like, instead of just fighting them one by one, you have to fight all the bosses at the same time, and you get a little bit of extra tribute or loot or whatever. So yeah.
I think some people take it even without any benefit.
Yeah, because it's faster, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Even with the 1 life stuff, the ritual's annoying because when you do the final boss, because like if you're doing it properly, you want to go to the final boss first, so the final boss spawns throughout the rest of your ritual, so you're getting that extra tribute from it. But when you do the final boss first, and then you die after you've cleared the final boss, it wipes all of the rituals from the map. So even if you have the second life, if you're doing it that way and you have the second life, you end up not getting access to the rest of your rituals. So it's, yeah, there's some quality of life that needs to happen there. But yeah, what main mechanic have you been farming, Gazi?
Breach for a minion crafting.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense.
True.
You know, I've crafted like 700 belts, I think, by now.
Yeah.
650, 700 belts.
I was about to ask.
I got 1 plus level of minions. 1.
Only, well, how many was it, +1 or +2?
I got +2, and I fractured it. So it's a really easy one now.
Nice.
But I dropped 1 in almost 700 belts. So I don't know if that's unlucky or if it's just extremely rare. I don't know. I didn't even know it could roll +1 because the first one I dropped was +2. But about 700 belts, I dropped 1.
Yeah, when I was playing my supporting fire tactician, and I was at the point where the last upgrade I needed to make was +2 minion skills belts. I tried crafting one, and then I looked at the prices on them. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna move on to my next build. I'm good without the +2 minion skills belts because they are hard to craft and they are expensive.
It's like the plus spell level rings; those are also extremely rare.
You know, the recent patch that gave us minion catalysts. That shit was so fun. Holy shit.
I saw the video.
Didn't you make I heard you made a +6, right?
Yeah. I made a +6. And it's priced at like 3 or 4 mirrors or some stupid shit, which is what, 12,000 divines now?
Holy shit.
It's so stupid.
How much did it cost to craft?
Well, I got lucky in that one. I hit it on the 3rd lock and locks back. Well, it cost me just 1,500 divs to craft, I think. But when I started that, the locks were going for 230 divs each, and locks are 600 divs each now. So now the average craft cost for the last process is about 6,000 divs just to try to craft it. But like the biggest problem is you spend about 100 to 150 divs just to get to the point where you use vol infusers. And there's I was told, I don't know the numbers, but people say it's about a 45% chance of hitting. To get the volume fuses to make the 40% quality up to 50%, not corrupting it on any of those clicks on the way there. And you have to have the 20% quality prefix crafted mod on it when you do this. If it gets corrupted with that, you don't get your money back, if it even sells. So that's like 100 to 150 divs just to get to that point. And then if you hit that, you then have to whittle off the craft, hit a good one, keep whittling, and then start locking. And there's an average of 1 in 10 or 1 in 11, but 1 in 10 locks to hit the Sanctify high enough to roll plus level. So that's 10 times 600 divs per lock. So that's 6,000 divs just for that process now.
That's
crazy. You said NP. Go ahead, Miso.
If it's anything close to like the rates for like going from plus 20 to 30% quality on armors from the Vol currency, that sounds insane. Because like I think last league I probably did like a bunch of those for the Atziri armors, and I only hit 30%.
About the same. I've crafted, I don't know, 15 or 16 of them. And one of them I hit, which we made into +6. The closest I got was a corrupt on 50%. And then I stopped crafting them. Like, that pissed me off so much.
I mean, I saw a video today of someone having a video how to craft a +6 amulet, and the video started with the +4 fractured. So, and the video had like 30,000 clicks or something. So apparently that exists in the community now. So
is that real?
Yeah, it's real. It's like there's, with PoE2 being super popular now in 0.5, there's a slew. I really hope that Lily goes back to those videos where she shits on those creators, because we need that right now.
Okay, so you're at, so I was asking, is that real? As in, like, does that actually work? 'Cause I don't think it works.
No,
it doesn't work. That's the whole point.
Okay.
That was the whole point. It was like a video where it's like, this is how you determine. I think it was even mentioned. It was even mentioned deterministic, right? So it was like, oh, get a +6 amulet, and
off of fractured base
has reached new levels. And then the pinned comment was like, oh, by the way, I noticed that it doesn't work on fractured. Yeah, delete the video then. What do you mean? Delete the video then. You don't need that $40 that you get from 60,000 clicks or something on YouTube. You don't need them that much, okay?
So I call this the D4 plague of ARPGs, because like I know this happens on many other games, but D4 was the first ARPG where this really, really kicked off, where people just, it's more important to be first than to be right or accurate, right? And it's just clicks. It's all there is. And the same thing in D4. It's like best this, best that, ultimate best this, ultimate best that. This is the best league start. People posted guys before patches are out. And then, that didn't happen. People get called out, and those things didn't get attention in the PoE scene, or any other ARPG matter for that, any ARPG game for that matter, until PoE2 grew in popularity, and a lot of people from D4 came over, and they're doing the same thing in here as well. And it just ruins the experience for people that are new, that don't know this, and that are watching these videos, and these guy content creators, and it's just getting completely shit on. And that's what DS Lily is doing her, content cop series. It's really fun. But I call it the D4 play for the same reason. It's not just crafting, it's guides. And it's also gone to the point where I saw the other day, DM Darth, he had a guy on Instagram who impersonated him. Yeah, so he was impersonating him and ripping off his shorts from YouTube 1-to-1 and posting it on his Instagram account, making money from it. And then DM reached out to the guy, and the dude was like, oh, let me just cash out the bonus here before I take it down. I'm like, what? That's a thing? People do that?
Crazy.
Yeah, there was a guy on TikTok who was taking my videos 1-to-1 and just posting on his TikTok as well. I had to go, and luckily the TikTok DMC, or not DMC, I don't know what it was, the copyright whatever report actually worked out. It took like a month, but then it nuked all his videos.
Yeah, it's unfortunate how many views some of these, like, the only things I really watch is like build guides, specifically like a lot of off meta stuff. And there's like those, we know the ones we're talking about, build creators who have like, this is the 10 best builds of the patch, and it's like 10 of their shit builds that are like struggling in like tier 15 maps. And like those are the ones that bother me the most, is because those end up getting lots of views.
99% of the time, then it leads to an RMT side.
Yeah, and then and then it always has an RMT site in the comments, so it's just like
always,
fuck that.
Always.
But I don't blame them. I do agree that RMT. I believe that is a plague of the gaming industry. We'll never get away from it. I think that it is crazy to RMT in general.
I think it's ridiculous. Yeah.
But
like, why would you?
Yeah, but I mean, I understand the concept of RMT in like MMO games and whatnot. Like, I don't frown upon people doing that. I really don't, because it's like, okay, you save yourself some time. The game, the purpose of those games is not what you do with your currency, and it's not, you can't buy gear. You have to get those either through PvPing or if you have to do raids and those things. It's a different landscape. In ARPG games, the whole point of playing it is to grow your character to become stronger. What's the point in swiping your way to buying the best gear? Like, once I have the best gear and everything, I play the build for a day or two, then I'm off to a new build and doing something fun with that. There's no point in doing it because you destroy the entire idea of the entire game by doing that. You skip ahead and you basically just remove the purpose of playing it.
Agreed.
But like, I don't blame them, because like, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen tons of emails about offering RMT promotions and whatnot, and they pay ridiculous amounts of money. Yeah. Just to have a little link at the top of your description, like $5,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month, just to have that in your YouTube videos. Thousands of dollars.
That's just how much money they're making
in the bag.
That's just how much they're making, which is crazy, right? To think about. It's like, that's how widespread the RMT is, that they're willing to pay you that much money just to have that little bit.
Yeah.
It is very normalized in like a lot of games, and like depending on where you live. It's very specifically in the West that is almost very anti-RMT. But even like Gazzy just alluded to, like in World of Warcraft, they added in-game RMT. You can buy, the WoW token to get gold. So, and gold's everything in that game. So it's becoming more normalized. And I agree with Gazzy to the extent that, like, $5,000, $10,000 extra a month for a lot of people, that goes a long way. So, but
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. I think it's detrimental to the game. And when those creators are getting the new players are coming in and they gravitate to those people, it might give the impression that that kind of stuff is normalized and okay, and that's always not good.
I feel kind of dirty when I'm doing a Diablo Immortal sponsorship. And RMT, I don't know.
Wait, you did that?
He has.
Wow.
Cal, literally one time.
I'm a Diablo partner. It's pretty funny because I'm a Diablo partner. And when I went to Blizzard HQ last time, was summer last year, I think it was. Year before. It was some time ago. The manager, the guys that deals with the different regions, we had a dinner and they sat down with all the content creators and they bring up Diablo Immortal, and everyone at the table just starts looking at each other like, yeah, the amount of money you have to pay me to play that game is you're not gonna like it. Not a single one of us wanted to do that shit.
Miso's cheap.
I didn't have to play it. I just did it for the footage. I just did it for the footage.
There you go.
Oh, that's easy.
I mean, it's money in the end, but it's like,
yeah. Also, that's like a whole different thing. That's at least that could be understood as a video game. At least that's not just. I think you're fine, Miso. You're fine, Miso. Your soul is just gonna be solid from now on, just a tiny bit, but that's fine, right? You're fine with that. Okay.
I'm not just throwing shade at you, Miso. Just gonna point that out. Like, I mean, most of us have taken Raid Shadow Legends sponsors, but it's different because Diablo Immortal and Raid Shadow Legends, they have this. Everybody knows, everybody knows this is just for the bag. And it's perfectly fine to do that. Like, because everybody knows. It's different when you have these other games one promotes and it's like super heavy pay to win and all those things. Then it feels kind of scummy in many cases. But both Diablo Immortal and Raid Shadow Legends, everybody knows that if you take that sponsorship, the only reason you did it is because there's a bag behind it.
That's kind of crazy to think about, though. The fact the fact that it's just so well known in the community that it's like, yeah, you're doing it because they're paying you good money. Like that says something about the games. And like, how do these like games continue to just like exist like this? How many, I mean, we know, right? You know, it's the whales, the people who pay for it, whatever. But I just think it's ridiculous how that's the case, where it's like, yeah, people know it's like that, but still it's a game that's extremely profitable. That's just how crazy all these like pay to win games are in terms of like the ROI of like a whale.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. Whales, like, all they have to do is like, it doesn't matter how much money they pay Miso to promote the game. All it takes is one whale to show up, and that pays for 100 Misos. Whales they're thick. You were talking about
They're
how
thick.
in they're thick, and you talk about how in PoE 1, the main way you make currency is profit crafting. How about in PoE 2? Do you profit craft exclusively or as your main method in PoE 2? And what is your
Yeah.
thoughts on the state of crafting in PoE 2 right now?
I think that PoE2's crafting is considerably more streamlined to be way better on new player onboarding to get into crafting, because regularly the item never goes down, it always goes forward and up. So you add modifiers, you never take away modifiers, kind of the consensus. When it comes to profit crafting, it's harder to explain to people how to do that, because like we complicators can never tell someone, hey, craft this bow because that's money, because as soon as we say that, that market is fucked. You'll never make a dime doing it. So normally what I do in stream is I normally just craft things that minion builds uses, and some of it is profitable, not always. A lot of people see it, they start crafting it, it's no longer profitable. So when I do profit crafts, it's usually things I do off stream, and then I have another friend of mine selling the items on their shop, because people track the shit I sell on my on my accounts.
Wow.
I can't sell it myself anymore. So that's usually how I go around that. But if you're not a streamer, you can make ridiculous currency. A buddy of mine who's actually using that +6 amulet that we crafted, we didn't sell it, he's using it. He makes about 4 or 5, sometimes 600 divs a day, just casually profit crafting. And just because he's not a streamer, he can do that and continuously work on those markets. But when it comes to like 2-3 weeks into league, profit crafting kind of moves up. It does that in PoE1 as well. The cheap items doesn't really sell, or they're not really profitable anymore, simply because the secondhand market kicks in. It's just economy 101, supply and demand. Once the 2-3 weeks into league, people who are done with the low budget builds, they go up in budget, and their old items don't just magically disappear. They re-enter the market, and now the supply is way higher than demand, and it's no longer profitable to do those things. So profit crafting kind of goes hand in hand with every week. The better profit crafts usually cost more to craft, and the earlier you're on that train, the easier it is to craft. I mean, just look at locks, for example. I crafted a +6 amulet for 1,500 divs. You want to craft that now, it's going to cost you 7,000 or 8,000 divs to do the exact same thing. So just the market fluctuates or ramps with inflation, I guess, quite a lot. Mirrors were going for about 1,500 divs. Now they're going for 4,000 something. So it's just how it works. But I think the crafting is pretty good for newer players. I think that for profit crafting, I do prefer the way the system works in PoE1. I think that for veteran crafters, a lot of people do prefer PoE1 over PoE2, but that's just my take. I mean, you want a Chaos Orb, a +3 level of minion skills, that's an average of 1,700 Chaos Orbs, which is about 200 divs right now.
I would never.
So I mean, there's those problems, right? But those problems are exclusive to a very small percent of the player base. So I don't, normally complain about it, because I think that crafting is better for the players that are not doing those things, which I think is a good thing. But at the same time, it can be quite frustrating. I think my only main complaint that I think goes hand in hand towards that is good for newer players would be gatekeeping away with fluctuating prices of things like metacrafts, like whittlings. PoE2, we have bench crafts from metacrafts. They are locked. They cost 2 divines each. Here, craft it. You can now play around with your items this way. Whereas in PoE2, all of that is market controlled, or player agency is around it, because whittlings is an omen that goes in the market. If it's popular to be crafted, they will be priced based on the best use case scenario for those things. Even if you want to use it on a random item that is not a meta ring or whatever, you can't really use that in an effective way currency wise, because the prices of those are completely locked in and based around what is the best use case for them, which is usually profit crafting or mirror service crafting.
I never thought about it that way, that how like the crafting is based around like how useful or how good that item is, as opposed to Path of Exile 1, where it's a fixed price, right? It never fluctuates. It's always however many divs. If you want to lock a prefix or whatever, it's this many divs. If you want to go and re-roll this thing, it's that many currencies. So that's, yeah, I really wonder if that's like a positive thing for the community or it's a negative, because right now off the top of my head it sounds like a negative thing for overall players, but it's like a maybe a nice thing for top ends who players who can actually use those things to craft if they are expensive. But we do have the luxury of this league with all of the ritual omens at least being relatively affordable compared to before, where it's not like 30 divs to whittling. It's like there are
it's
4 or
better.
5. It's like 5. It's like I think it's like 4 to 7 or 8 is like the range of the purple omens this league.
And also at the same time, and
always the go ahead.
No. Guest always first.
No, I was just gonna say that my argument since the early interviews, since point 1, was that this would create, if they had a set price for it, would create another venue for Divine Orb sync in the community. And that doesn't exist right now. However, the counter argument was consistently, we don't have enough unique items that incentivizes Divine Orbing. And I'm going to be honest, I still don't think that's enough, but it's better. But I am more incentivized now with the modifiers they've added to actually Divine Orb my rare gear. So there's my Divine Sync. It's better, but I still would arguably say that Metacraft should be a set price. And that's more to allow newer players that are learning and becoming experienced players to engage with higher end crafting without that, costing an arm and a leg and 2 livers. So you have to steal one from your sister.
And if you don't have a sister, where do you get the liver from?
Black market.
The temple.
Perfect.
The temple, yeah.
You're a crafter, right, Rabbit? You've made didn't you make a Giga Staff this league? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, and then sold it way too cheap.
What'd you sell for?
I'm 1k divines. Like, people are gonna hound me in the comments now and be like, "Oh, he said too cheap." Yes, it sold for a lot. I'm not saying that it didn't sell for a lot. It sold for cheap though, for too cheap though. Because 2 days later, people in my chat and in my Discord are pinging me with planned staves or staves that they've crafted that sold for 2 mirrors, and mine was better than those. I have no idea how this happened. I don't know who would buy a staff, like a plant staff or any staff for a mirror like that, but apparently people do that.
Much less one touched by dead rabbit. Ugh, disgusting.
Yeah, that was why it was cheaper. That was why it was cheaper. I touched it with my dirty fingers. I did no. What was it? The main divine things that they added for this one was probably Mage Blood, and then the change to Val Orbs, right? That Val Orbs don't do the divine themselves anymore. But now, if you actually, like, let's say you want to cultivate a series Splendor or something, or you want to roll, or you want to Val a Temporalis or whatever, you are going to divine it until it's perfect, and then you hit the Val, right? That's probably even a bigger divine thing than Mage Blood right now. And I think if they just keep adding those, and if they just keep going, every single patch we get a few of those, it might actually help a little bit with that. What I wanted to say also with the omens and ritual is that the reason obviously for that is that they are, or the reason is also that they are more inexpensive now because people are easy to get them, but completely disconnected from the price of omens. I also just feel like it is so much better now in this league that you're like, okay, I want to start crafting with ritual omens instead of just buying them all. Even though it's a little bit better now because they are cheaper, it feels so easy now to just, I'm gonna do ritual for a few hours and I'm actually gonna get those omens. I would say, and unless you are completely griefing yourself with the strategy or whatever you're doing, if you're playing ritual for 3 hours, I would say, just as a baseline, you are gonna get a few whittlings. And
for sure.
In most cases, you are getting 2 or 3 of the other ones as well in 3 hours of ritual, like super conservative. And I just feel that even in a trade league, even though we're playing in a trade league, I just feel that's good for the game, that everyone can self-sustain a little bit and be like, have their own homestead, grow their own tomatoes, and like when the apocalypse happens, maybe they can live 3 days more, or you know, it just feels good because I really like to have my own stash. Even though I'm playing trade league, I really like having a bunch of abyssal echoes in my stash that I don't that I didn't just buy. I have a bunch of omen of lights. I have all the ritual omens that. So every time that I do something, or I want to craft something, or I want to upgrade my gear, or whatever, I have that in my stash. Even though it's not SSF, I just feel like that that feels good, and that is one of the big positives once again in this league for me.
Yeah.
As a crafter, are you having gold issues? Because like in PoE
Nope.
1, I buy gold services. I pay multiple divines every league. Like I'm not talking about a handful of divines. I pay about 100 to 200 divines every PoE 1 league just on gold so that I can trade. In PoE 2, there is no gold service that I know of. So I'm asking chat. Basically every day I'm running a multitude of castaway maps. Then I do one trade and it soaks up 1 million gold. Like I flip some divine server to Exalted just to have some material or currency to do trades with. I buy say 50 divines off the Exalted orbs. I buy a handful of thousands of divines. That's 1.1 million gold down the drain. That's 2 castaway maps to get that. I'm consistently broke on gold all the time. I can't trade the way I do because I have to ask people to give me their castaway map so I can afford trading. It's crazy. You guys don't have that issue?
I have gold
I don't-
issues, but not for trading. I have it for passive tree because it's like 1 million gold to fully respec your passive tree. So when you're doing like full respecs, like I burn through gold, and I do burn through a lot with trading. I think there's the bartering omen. You can sell rares with that, and like they'll randomly sell for like 30 to 50k gold. But you can also do gold tablets in cities, and that will get you a lot of gold. Those are like the 2 things I do. But I am constantly taking castaways from my viewers. Like, if you got a castaway, hit me up. Like, I need them bad. I go through gold like crazy.
I'm not that much of a crafter that Caltrek is has me painted here, so
You're just the only
I never run out
crafter
of
I
gold.
know, so that you're the one I reference.
I do maps all day. Right now I'm looking at my screen. I have 33 million gold, so I'm like,
I have 100,000 gold
no
left.
I'm always gold starved.
Well.
I'm always starved on gold.
And they made the price for what buying, was it weapons specifically, or was just buying stuff in general just more expensive this league too? It was like 50% increase in
martial
gold price.
weapons.
Even getting
That's
like a
martial
rare
weapons, yeah.
martial weapon will cost like 100,000 plus gold. It's like, okay, it's rough.
I don't worry, I nerfed.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I have
If I wasn't crafting it, I'd actually have gold because I'm talking to some of my friends who barely crafts, and they're like, "Oh, I got 50 million, I got 70 million gold." I'm like, "Brother, here, take it 500 dips, give me some X for this, just flip them for me or something." Because I can't afford doing it. It's absolutely crazy.
Every league I have gold issues, but it seems very like specifically to like, just because if you like one day I want to try the build with ES, the next day I want to try it with armor, so that means my entire passive tree went from the bottom to the top to the bottom. So like that's millions of gold when you're doing shit like that. So I'm always gold starved. The old Discord, I can't even remember the name of it, the one that blew up. That you were actually watching like all of your coverage for it. TFT, right? I used to get castaways from that server, but I don't know in like 0.3 and 0.4. I used to buy castaways. Like I would probably have spent close to 500 plus divines across castaways in those servers, but I haven't bought any this league because I don't know where people are selling them.
Well, TFT's back. I don't know if you know that.
Oh,
It's
I did
pretty
not know
dead.
that.
I didn't know that. My battery's about to die, so I'm going to change the battery.
Yep.
I'll be back in a second.
Yep.
I leveled a character today, and I wanted to see if people are selling Untainted Paradise to get the character up. There were like 3 posts in the service section in the last hour, so.
Well, I'm not
usually
saying, I don't know how poppin' it is, but I'm just saying like it's under new management. So
I see.
Okay, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I
it's
used to
under new
use them for
management.
castaways, but yeah, I've just been. Someone, I forget who, but they told me about city farming. You can do city farming with the gold drops, and that'll be like 250,000 to 300,000 gold without doing any super juicing. But if you like juice it with like more monsters and stuff. And then there's the areas that convert your drops to gold. So if you have any of those, you can send one of those maps. But yeah,
I mean, there's plenty of solutions to get gold. The bartering things, actually looting the rare items and vendoring them accumulates to a lot of gold. But what I do in a map, I identify the rare. If it's shit, it goes on the ground, and I keep mapping. Like,
yeah,
I don't sell them. It's like there are multiple ways to get gold. And consistently, there's an Atlas passing notes. Like you can say, "Oh, I'm running low on gold. Okay, well, let's just change the way I'm doing. Change a few tablets, or change the Atlas tree and do the gold maps." Like there are ways to sorting that. The problem for me is that when I'm doing mapping, I have a farmer strategy I want to engage with. Then I want to engage with that. I don't want to interrupt my mapping experience and say, "Whoa, shit, I just traded too much, and now I have to spend the next hour or two just doing gold farming." Like fuck that. I'd rather just pick up the castaways or not have the issue to begin with. It would be preferable. But
yeah.
it is.
It's happened to me twice where I've been trying to I've been doing trading through the currency vendor or whatever, Ainge, and I'll suddenly out of gold. I'm like, oh shit, I just blew through 1.5 million gold and now I'm broke again. And yeah, I don't know. I've always complained about the gold problem. I don't understand why specifically passives need to cost as much gold as they do. I don't know why they feel the need like it needs to limit people to experiment the trade. I understand like currency has a gold cost. It's to prevent people from botting and like being able to just manipulate the market crazy. You actually have to play the game to be able to do that stuff. But the
It
passive
doesn't
trees,
stop bots. Let's be honest. It doesn't stop bots. Bots will keep doing what they do.
I'm sure it
So
slows them down a little bit.
I had a crazy experience many years ago when a guy was showing me a footage or clip of a guy. He was running a farm bot in PoE1, and I'm like, the guy got banned eventually. It took him a couple weeks. He was running a farm bot, and between the maps, this is one bot that did this. He was farming. When he was out of maps, he would have snipe. It would basically go out and basically do flips, and then he would also profit craft. The bot was crafting for him. Like I don't know how they do that. They were doing maps. It left the map, and then he would craft, and at the same time it had snipes going on. So if it was not in a map and it was a snipe there, it would send the character off to that hideout to buy the item. And then back, and then did some crafting. Oh, he's out of currency. Okay, well, then you go back into mapping. All automated. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Crazy.
But the account got banned 2 or 3 weeks later, I think it was. But this is a few years back. So like the bots are sophisticated as fuck, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Some of them even have a podcast. No? Okay. Tough crowd. Holy shit. Okay.
I've seen WoW bots before. I've never looked into what PoE bots looked like. I mean, you can assume there's bots for everything. Like it's very easy to like have a bot just sit at the Ainge window and just like wait for the currency flips to happen. But the fact that it can play it that intensely that sucks.
Yeah. Well, for the gold issue, first things, I don't know if you guys have tried tablet farming, but tablet farming makes you pump a bunch of waystone chants on your tablets and maps and stuff like that, which means you're also dropping a lot of waystones, and tier 15 waystones sell for a good amount of money, and they also don't take up that much space, right? Maybe something you guys can think about. But also, so for the respec thing, and I don't know if they'll ever do this in Path of Exile 2, but the nice thing about Path of Exile 1 is you have regret orbs, right? So it's like you don't have to spend your gold on respecking. You can, but you don't have to. I wonder if there's ever a room for something like that where you do have that dual marketplace where you can spend the gold if you want, or you have another currency to do it. I feel like that's just better. Maybe it's a little bit more confusing. I don't know, but it just takes away from some of that stress and limitations of the gold.
I'd rather not have more orbs in the game if they can avoid it, because there's so many freaking orbs, man. There's orbs for everything. PoE1 is obnoxious now. If you don't if you haven't played every league for a long time, you go in as a new player, there's an orb for everything.
I mean,
Like,
we
literally.
have a rune for everything in Path of Exile 2.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Speaking of like the PoE 1 and PoE 2 stuff, something cool that's happening at least right now is we're finally getting weekly balance updates, and this has been something that like I've been like crying about the entire time of early access. Is I want them to start treating it like an early access game, and most early access games after they release big content patches, it's lots of iterations on bugs, balance changes, making sure the game feels good. And PoE 2 has never really done that ever. They tried it once initially, it went horribly, and then they were just like, okay, we're staying clear of this for now. We're going to settle with the PoE 1 and PoE 2 stuff. And yeah, this is exactly what I've wanted, essentially, is what I'm trying to say, is this kind of patch cadence. I don't know how long it's going to last, but Gazzy, from your perspective, have you ever seen them develop any PoE 1 league like this where they're just or patching it this heavily this early on? Was like this how they used to be before PoE 2 was added, or is this new?
Yeah, this is unprecedented. Like, this is completely new. Like, I woke up a morning and suddenly we had Minion Catalyst. I'm like, okay, all my plans are now shut to shit. This is what I'm doing. And it was really fun. And I do like it. I also do agree that they should treat it more like a early access thing. I understand that they don't want to do too much balance changes. You don't want to create a scenario where X player that is new spends 2 weeks gearing up that meta build, and then, you know, once he's finally in maps, he finally ended a campaign, there's a patch that kicks in and says, no, that shit, that is bad now. Like, you got to reroll. Like, they can't do that. But that's not what's happening. Like, there's additional content, quality of life features. There's some other things that's happening that has not been seen to this level before. So no, I'm very happy with the patch cadence that we're in right now, for sure.
Rabbit?
Yes.
Thoughts?
I mean, we have been kind of on the we have been on the podcast before. We've been kind of pro, even like mid-league big changes, right? We always said here that we personally were always like completely on board with, even if they change stuff mid-league, I have no problem with that. Let's see. They have been going a little bit harder here now because they did change a bunch of stuff now that I would consider a mid-league nerf. They even created like legacy items now with the changes to the alloy, for example. There was like, if you didn't know, because you don't play spellcasters apparently, I guess. They changed the cast speed alloy on the wands, so they don't work on there anymore. And I bought a wand, I think 24 hours before that happened, and I think I bought the wand for 250 divines, and 2 days later the wand was like mirror, basically, because it was now a legacy wand and you couldn't do that anymore. And I would consider that
was
a
one of my
mid-league nerf.
perfect crafts.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I would consider that a mid-league nerf. So they are going hard. I have no problem with that. I guess, and I can relate to people that are putting their time into the game, and then the time might not be as plenty as the time that we have as streamers to spend on the game, and that can feel frustrating a little bit. But in the end, I do feel like it is good for the game if we give GGG the opportunity to test stuff and change stuff when they think it's bad, because that will eventually lead to a better game eventually. So I am all for that. I want more changes. I feel like they can sometimes, and I think GGG has been doing a good job at that. I think sometimes not listening to the community can also work, even though they are doing a great job at listening to certain stuff on the community. But sometimes there are instances where they should not listen to the community and they come up with good stuff on their own. They have always done that. So all power there to them. Sometimes it may feel bad. Like, people were super mad in my chat because a lot of them were like, "No, we can't get the good ones now." In solidarity, I sold my wand the other day and then made a new wand without the legacy, and the game still works. Amazing,
You're
right?
so
Like, I can still
honorable.
do all content with the new non-legacy wand.
Yeah.
So
Real
yeah, I'm a
honorable.
man of the people like that.
A real
Exactly, I'm a man of the
honorable.
people.
He
Like,
sold the
just
wand.
out of the kindness of my heart, I sold the one for like 1,400 divines or
Out of
something.
the
So it
kindness
was like,
of his heart.
yeah,
He
come
could have
on.
vendored
Yeah.
it or dropped it. No, he sold it
No,
because he wanted
no,
to
he
pass
sold
the sword
it.
to the community.
No,
Yeah,
someone
yeah,
could
yeah.
have someone could have eaten. Someone could have used that wand. Then people would have been mad if that I wasted it. So
Okay, that's the excuse.
Okay, is that
That's
so
that's what you're doing.
I have this ethical thing where sometimes when I make builds, if they become popular, they skyrocket in price, right? So I bought Prism of Belief for the Unearth. My buddy Lola, she bought it for 1 divine. I picked up mine for 22 divines. And then I showed it on stream, and now they're going for 100 divines. And I don't never buy extras to make money after that, because I think that's unethical. Like, I buy what I need for the bills, and then the market is for the market. So I never make profit for those things. Some people think that most of us guide creators do those things, but most of us don't. Like,
no,
we don't do that.
I really hope I should maybe say I really hope that was like, I was kidding a little bit, right? I would be pissed, obviously. We know. People do it. Like, I would obviously be pissed. That's not what I said, but it's like, yeah, it's the point kind of stands.
Yeah. The only time I make money off of like a build like that is if, like, let's say I'm trying to get specifically Crown of the Pale King with 30 Spirit enchant on it. I corrupted 100 of them, and I sell 7 of them that had 29 Spirit. Like that, those are the only situations I ever make money off of. But I don't I'm gonna stockpile these prisms of beliefs. Like, if you're doing that, that's fucking weird, man.
I did do that. No, so I didn't sell it. No, it's clear. Let's make clear the air here. I didn't sell it. I didn't sell
what'd you do?
No, so the other day I made a video about the audience of the king. The invitation, like the audience of the king, right? It was going for like 5 to 7 exalts. I'm like,
oh yeah, you ruined that farm for me.
And I was like, guys, literally, this is free money. You pay 5 to 7 exalts, you put it in your inventory, you can actually see all the audience, like the crux of nothingness. You're probably missing out on like 25 to 30 divs just because of this, right? And then, like, apparently it skyrocketed from like 5 to 7 exalts to like 50 exalts that night. And I'm like, I did not expect that to happen, but 2, I was like, all right, before I go into this, I'm gonna actually buy a bunch of these for myself, so I don't have to. If it does inflate, I don't have to buy it, because I'm gonna still use it, right? So I didn't sell it, but I did buy it for myself to use.
No. Yeah, that
reminds me of sorry.
No, go ahead.
About a decade ago, or whatever. There was when the Masters of Atlas patch came in, we had to do dailies in PV1 to get the Masters leveled. That's where the Metacrafts came into the game. And the month before that patch came in, I crafted at the time the best SRS staff for PV1. Cost me like 500 exalted back then, but the equivalent of divs. And then the patch came in. And then there was a group of people, a group of crafters who made multiple mirrors, selling these bows and staffs with plus level of skills. It was with a Paragon roll. It was just crazy. And then at the end of the league, they made this Reddit post where they explained how it was done. And this is where we started getting more of a grasp of crafting it in the PoE scene with modifier and tag manipulation. The shit I'd spent 400 divs trying to craft cost about 7 divs to do with Metacrafts. And they've been doing that. They were like the small group of crafters who were just churning these items out, having 1 or 2 of each item up for sale. And then as soon as it's sold, they would craft another one. And they sold for like 30 or 40 times the craft cost because people didn't know how to do it. It's absolutely wild. But it's kind of similar to that.
It's like the people who craft for the FUB gun market, the FUB gun crafters.
You can call him by his name, Miso. What do you mean? Why are you not saying his name? X the Farmer X. That's his name. That's his name. You made a whole career out of that.
That's funny. Back to the weekly balance stuff. Is there anything you got, like, it's, that we are eventually ramping towards PoE 1. PoE 1 has its own team, though, so we can assume we've got more weeks of patches coming. Is there anything off the top of your guys' head that you think needs to be adjusted or fixed in the coming weeks? I believe in the Zizarin interview, they alluded to Delhi changes coming, or was that down the line? I can't remember.
Expedition changes.
Expedition changes, I see.
Yeah.
Is there anything you guys standing out in your heads that you think should be changed? Go ahead, Ryan.
I honestly think it's mainly bug fixes, I would say. I think overall that the league there are a large amount of bugs, and I don't see too many people being very up in arms about all of those, because the reason that there are so many bugs is because the league is just so massive, and everything is just overwhelmingly so positive that the bugs are kind of like a side noise a little bit. But I think it would be like they just hit it out of the park generally, and I think if those like little bugs get fixed one by one, it's just gonna continuously get better every time. And also feel like that the priority should be on bugs before we go into stuff like balance, and especially when it comes to certain things maybe being a little bit too strong. I think that's fine for now, because like it doesn't really destroy any integrity to the game or anything. Let people have some, I always think it's not that bad. Let people have some fun. Let people one shot pinnacle bosses with monkey for a few more weeks. That's fine. I would personally see the priority on the health of the game, which is just closing some of those bugs, because I did 3 breach hives in the past couple of days, and now I'm not doing them anymore, because every single time I did them, I couldn't get to the breach stack because the 2 bosses were bugged. Or today I had another one I forgot now, which basically bricked me from doing something. And yeah, I just wish that would be priority number 1, which it probably is though. Like, we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We haven't heard something in quite a few days now. I'm expecting like a big patch to come now. I would just, like, my assumption is that that might be on the horizon, and we get like another bigger patch.
Like a 0.3.
I mean, that'd be nice.
No,
Like,
what was the? Yeah, it
Expedition's
was
gonna
like
be pretty big, I think.
Yeah, right.
I have barely played Expedition, so I would love
same.
it to get some love.
That's
Yeah,
why
I'm just
I'm-
when
waiting for that
happens.
patch to kick in before
Exactly,
I do it.
me too.
Maybe it's today. Maybe it's
Maybe.
within a couple hours. For me, I think I don't remember which interview it was, but Mark, maybe it was the Ziggy D interview. They talked about towers and Grand Project, and someone brought up, is Grand Project's base going to be baseline the towers? And Mark said something along the lines of, I don't know if that's going to be in the patch or not. Like Miso, maybe you remember better, but there was something supposed to happen with towers and Grand Projects, and right now towers just like, because of like the Jado revealing stuff for you, towers feel like kind of like I almost never want a path to them. And I'm like a big believer in Grand Projects being baseline the towers, like either via an unlock or something. But that's the one thing I would love to see adjusted, is just Atlas traversal.
Yeah, I think
And I would
Mark
love Grand
alluded
Projects.
to be, so like he alluded to be like, oh yeah, it's not going to be base, but we're doing something different with towers, which I don't think they ever did. So now, and I even complained about this in 0.4. I was like, towers feel like an afterthought right now. It doesn't feel like it's something that people really go in 0.4. All you did was go in there for a Grand Project, and if you didn't have a Grand Project or you weren't doing that, you'd never visit the tower. So I feel like in 0.5, with Grand Projects being so much more expensive, it's even more of an afterthought right now, where like the tower layouts are like a lot of times aren't the best. So you're not going to be going in there with your juiced farm strat. And then, what do you get when you go into the tower? Pretty much nothing, right? You get a precursor tablet. So I think they do need to go and fix up the tower system a little bit, because it used to be where it was too required, and now it's like, what am I doing? Why would I ever want to run a tower? But yeah, I don't know. For me, what I would like to see them fix, of course, bugs top of the list, right? My monk build is still hamstringed by that. Half the things I want to do on that class still bugged. But for me, I think the biggest glaring issue that I see right now that I'd like them to kind of address is the balance of the biomes. Cities are just way overpowered compared to everything else. Like, there's no reason to not run a city right now. Like, the only reason why is you're not at a city yet. So that's the only reason why. It's 200% Delhi is way too powerful and then you stack that on top of cities. It's like, why would you ever run, if your build can do it, why would you ever not run a 200% Delhi city? And if your build can't run Delhi, then you're just going for a city for the tablet stacking reasons. I wonder if they even thought about how powerful a 4th tablet was going to be, because it's ridiculously powerful.
Yeah,
especially if all those tablets can have 40% up to 40% suffix modifiers on top, right? It just
Mhm.
it's insane. I tested it a little bit with Ritual. Yesterday I did Rite of the Nameless, I think 10 Rite of the Nameless or something on cities. And today I did 10 on non-city biomes, and I think I did it on cleanse maps mainly. And it was almost it's a pretty small sample size overall, like from a statistical perspective, but it was almost double. You wouldn't think that it's double, kind of, but it was. It was just on everything. So, yeah, city kind of. I mean, it's fun though when you are
Oh, yeah.
able to get it.
For sure. Thoughts on the city juicing, Gazzy? Have you done much of it?
Oh, it's just a little bit. Like, again, most of my currency comes from profit crafting. So for me, I just do whatever I feel like that is fun. So I like doing boss hunts. So for me, it's mostly Doriani jumping till I get to Rakiata, like Jade Isles and reserves or reservoirs, and that's kind of like where I have most fun doing. So that's kind of like my enjoyability. I did the 200% Delhi Giga shit with the rare modifiers, the breach pops, and there's the whole screen is filled with rares. But I'm playing a minion build, so I mean I'm sitting on a Starforge PC with a 5090, and I go down to double-digit FPS, and I crashed once, but the map was still there. But the lag is unbearable when that happens, when you have that many rares spawning. So
Right.
I didn't find that to be fun. It was very lucrative, I'll give you that, but it just wasn't fun. So I didn't do it because I'd rather have fun when I play the game.
My 5090 also constantly dips to 20 FPS, but that's not because of minions. It's because my build, literally the entire screen blows up from frost effects. I don't know.
Oh yeah, your dead build's
Performance
cool.
performance is a constant topic of debate in Path of Exile 2, I feel.
Yeah.
My 5090 is. Are you drying those tears with all the money that you make from all these? Did you buy this 5090 with the Diablo Immortal sponsorship or what, Misa? Huh?
I gave
Gross.
up. I gave up my hard-earned money for this because I did it for the stream. All right. If I wasn't a streamer, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
buy it. I'm
Business
completely
expense,
honest.
everyone. You
If I wasn't a
could like,
streamer,
did
I'd
you
still
get
be on my 30
business expense?
3080. I'd still be on my 3080.
I mean,
Yeah.
to
Let's
be
put.
fair, like I think we've all been when we all grew up being gamers in our teenage years. Everybody wanted the best of the best of the best computer, right? Like this is what you want, this is what you need, and this is what you can afford. So you always had the balance between what you can afford and what you actually needed. So I was presented with the opportunity to get a 5090. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it just to have the best of the best for once, just to have
Yeah,
it.
I've never had the best
And
of the
Oh
best
yeah.
for it. This is my first time ever.
it's not much of a difference in the end because like we don't play or stream in 4K anyways. So like the difference is kind of whatever.
Well, also
We'd
with like
find like the
upscaling
30.
and stuff like that these days, right? It makes a lot of games run a lot better on lower budget PCs.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
With
I
frame
definitely don't think
gen.
it's worth the money because the prices right now is freaking ridiculous in those things.
Before we fully dive into the builds of the week, let's quickly talk about the Ziz interview. It was really awesome. There were some things that stood out to me, and if there's anything that we don't talk about, you guys want to bring up, go for it. I mean, something about like from 0.1, I have always complained about wanting a death recap. And it always
Ugh.
blew my mind to hear that Jonathan was violently against it because it made it seem like you should know what you die to, but in this game there's so many ground effects, so many things hitting you at once that it's really hard to actually know. And I've always been a big proponent for this. I don't know, Gazzy, were you ever expecting them to turn on this? And were you part of the PoE1 community that was always trying to fight for it, or what are your thoughts on the death recap in general?
I've been very vocally supportive of having a death recap. Mainly because not so much for the veteran players, because well, at least as streamers, we look at the clip, we slow it down, and we will figure out what it is to kill us. Like we do that. Most people are not streamers. Most people are not veteran players. Most people are barely experienced with the game. PoE2 is new player onboarding, new player acquisition, and market shares. It isn't all the new players coming in. I think that it now is a better time than ever. I also think a DPS dummy is something that I'm very vocally supportive of. I think that those things should make it to PoE2. If you'd asked me a couple of years back, I would have said that these things will never happen because of what they've said before. But it wasn't that long ago that they said, let's try the trade system. And when that was introduced, I was like, okay, well, they've turned a corner on this one. And it was credited a lot to Last Epoch's decisions. And now they're talking about death recaps. And I think they're warming up to the thought of these things. And I think that ultimately it actually will be better. But I also believe that PoE2 is to thank for it because of it being new player friendly or onboarding. And that's being the focus. These things are good for new players. So having these features in the game makes sense, or at least has a louder voice behind it, in support of it, rather.
Yeah. I last league before the end of the at the end of the league, right? I did a interview thing where I interviewed people in my chat. I brought them on Discord. We talked about what their struggles were, what they want to see, and a constant piece of feedback was, "Hey, I want to see death recap because I don't know what I'm dying to. It's tough when I think I'm dying to this. I spend all my money to go and get my gear to be better in this aspect, but then I'm still dying. And it's probably because I wasn't dying to this thing, but I was actually dying to that thing. So I was really surprised to hear that they were even actively working on it. Not even just oh yeah, I hear you guys, and what, we're gonna go back and we're gonna talk about it. It's oh, you know what? I'm just done. You know what? Let's just put it in the game, all right? And we're actually working on it right now.
Agreed. Anything to add, Rabbit?
No, I think it's an obvious net positive. Like if just like async trade, like in-game price check, like the build making in-game feature now. There's some things in the game that are just net positives, like always, and it's just one of them. I can understand that in developing the game and getting it towards full release and everything, I can understand that it's not like a, what did they call it, T1 issue or something? I can fully understand that, but overall, I don't think anyone when they release it or when they actually eventually give us a death recap or something, I don't think there will be a single comment going like, "Oh, I didn't ask for this." So yeah, net positive. So yeah, please. I had multiple things today where I was testing out a new build and I just randomly died, and it would have been amazing to at least know what happened, because then you can optimize a little bit. This game is about problem solving after all, but if you don't know what the problem was, the solving part is hard to do.
Agreed. They specifically said Runic Ward wasn't being used as much as they were expecting it to be used. Have you guys leaned heavily into Runic Ward? I've done a few pieces where I've swapped over Runic Ward, but I haven't not done any Ward maxing at all.
Oh,
I mean, I've used Refutation like everyone and their mothers and their dead grandparents. And I used the Repulsion tech for the manifestation of Elysium manifestations. But Refutation is just too good. I think that we have so many tools for layered mitigation or damage avoidance that going down to surviving off of war, using that for main skill, just feels awkward. I've been wanting to look into ward-bound minions, for example, but the things we have access to is just so good right now that I'm not really interested in it, but I'll definitely look into it later. But why would I when I have so much great things to go for? The deflection changes are overpowered as shit. Evasion energy shield is probably one of the strongest defensive layers in the game, and that's not even accounting for loyalty stacking.
I was going to ask you if you'd mess with ward-bound minions, because I was thinking of making the build I'm playing right now ward-bound minions. Apparently, if you use it with Archon of Undeath, it makes it it scales the cap, so you can get 120 of them if it's gem level 40, because it also scales off spell level, so you don't have to just minion levels. It looked really fun, but I guess you haven't messed with it yet.
Not yet, no.
For me, I haven't had the opportunity to play with Ward because both of my characters that I played use energy shield. It uses my resources for damage. So, Hollow Palm Monk, right? Energy shield, evasion. Energy shield gives you crit. Evasion gives me attack speed. I'm playing right now a mana stacker. So I'm playing Eldritch Battery, which means energy shield gives me damage and survivability. and if I use Runic Ward, then that takes away from that. So I unfortunately have not had the opportunity to play with ward builds. Of course, my build is a ward based build because my main attacking skill, Bitter Dead, is a ward skill. But I just basically run the minimum requirement ward and then just like keep the rest of it on mana and energy shield. So I sadly haven't been able to do it, but I have seen some builds out there that have made like a full ward kind of situation going on. Like I think one of the coolest techs that I've seen is Infernalist, because Infernalist, the Pyromantic Pack deals damage to you based off of your life and your energy shield. Because you run 1 life, 1 energy shield, or 0 energy shield, you can just spam Pyromantic Pack for free. So basically 0 mana build, no mana cost.
Rabbit, have you dived into ward much?
No, I feel kind of bad because I love this update so much, but the main thing that they've given us, I haven't really paid attention to. I have been avoiding the expedition and rules of Aldo like the plague, and I haven't even done any ward stuff. Apart from like some of the obvious ones that you guys also talked about, but yeah. I was just so preoccupied with other stuff. It wasn't just only that I don't like the stuff, obviously. I think one of the main reasons why I didn't really dive into Void overall was because I was doing the low life Lich tech, and Void as a defensive layer doesn't do anything on that because you never want to lose all of your energy shield anyway, and then your life goes, and then your Void. So it would have been like just an extra life pool and like a extra defense, but that wouldn't have never made sense on a build as tanky as that, because I on that build on the plants Lich I didn't die for like 10 days or something. So and there wasn't really anything in terms of spending Runic Ward in that build to make it better, so I just haven't engaged. But I'm at the same time I'm excited to then eventually do it when there is an opportunity to. So if it was kind of by pure chance, but yeah, there was just so many other things to do here. So
Gotcha. Last thing before we dive into build of the week, reset leagues. They mentioned that they haven't even started working on them yet, which makes sense. When do you guys think they will happen? I assume it's going to be after the PoE 1 league. Gazzy, what are your thoughts on the reset league? I'm assuming you're going to play
between now and 1.0.
Yeah, the full wipe that we're getting, whatever type of thing. I'm assuming it's going to be like Pharisha, where it's like a little side section. I don't think it's going to be a hard wipe, but maybe.
I think they called it event leagues, is what they use.
Yeah, event leagues.
Yeah, so I don't think there'll be a reset.
I don't think there's going to be anything big. It's not going to be like they said it's not going to be leagues, but I'm guessing there's going to be some minor event stuff. I think it's just more of a, hey, we're going to add this and then add some crazy simple things they already have prepped, so it's not too much work for them to do, and they're going to use those as an excuse to do balance changes and then create a market reset. And I think that's it. I mean, we'll all treat them as a league launch, so that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing that, but I'm not opposed to it. There's so much content in this league; it's absolutely crazy. So I can't wait for it. It's gonna be fun. But I mean, I still have shitloads to do. I hope I can finish everything before PoE 1 league launches.
I mean,
no, I was crazy to hear. It was like middle of July or whatever. It's like right around the corner. It feels.
Yeah.
I can't. We were talking about last week with Pal, but can't even start thinking. Like we couldn't even start thinking about PoE 1. Like this is the first time where I was just like, yeah, I don't know, like. PoE 1? What's that? Like, I'm just playing PoE 2 right now. I can't even start thinking about that.
I still want to do an SSF
had, PoE 1 had what I think most people would say is the best league they've ever done.
Oh yeah, Mirage.
With the last league.
100%.
I was done with it after 6 days. Like 6 days in, I was done.
Really?
I know, yeah. Like I played PoE for 12 and a half years. I have over 30,000 hours. I've never quit. Well, not quit. I still played it, but I never felt like I'm done with the league faster than I was with that league. And it was one of the best leagues they've ever made. It's so freaking good. And at like 6 days in, I gambled away, a couple thousand divs worth of home cards, and I was like, okay, well, let's find something else to do because I'm getting fucking bored right now. in PoE 2, I start playing this league, and I'm like, we're 3 weeks in, and I'm not even halfway done with the shit I want to get done before the next league launches. It's just night and day difference for me. It's crazy. So I love PoE 1. It's no problems with it. I just feel like it's much short. It's very short lived nowadays, and I think that's a result of PoE 2 just being so much more interesting, in my opinion.
Cool. Any final thoughts before we move into builders of the week? All right, let us dive
I feel like you're all very
in.
good looking, and you're looking all very dapper tonight.
Thanks, bro. You too, by the way. You're
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank you. There we go.
Let's start with my build, Miso. I will be showcasing a obviously Witch Hunter is my favorite ascendancy. I love culling strike builds. I will be showcasing a Coal Warper from FaZe Plays. He is doing a Coal Warper using minions though. He is using the lightning little bug minion to lightning warp to, and this build is just freaking awesome looking. It is great damage. It is insane mobility. Obviously, I love Witch Hunter. I think Sorcery Ward is still heavily slept on as a defensive layer, but this build is just super cool. I don't know. It's obviously got really good mobility. A lot because he's scaling Culling Strike threshold. A lot of the minion, like Repulsion and the little minion dudes, will just auto cull stuff a lot of the time. Because just of how those interact together. And then he's just able to spam Lightning Warp as a mobility. The damage is great because these builds scale well. But it is super cool. Yeah, I love Culling Strike builds, and it is hard to get this kind of mobility if you're not doing the Coal Warp builds, but usually when you see the Coal Warp builds, it's on a Blood Mage, so it's just really cool to see this archetype on a Witch Hunter, and look at this. This is freaking awesome, so shout to FaZe Plays. This is a the awesome build.
Yeah, Living Lightning, Coal stuff.
Yeah, Living Lightning is the name of it.
Yeah, pretty cool. So the reason why it's always been the Coal tech has always been on Blood Mage is because until this patch, it was not possible to get 100% Coal on any class other than Blood Mage.
Yeah,
and they made it so that
the Curse Reserve.
Yeah, and this patch they updated so that the threshold for Coal is instead of 35% or 30% at 35%, and now every class can do Coaling Strike builds.
Yeah. And this just looks freaking sick. So shout to FaZe Plays. This is awesome, man. And yeah, I love Witch Hunter builds.
One quick thing, just in general, because we ask this question all the time on this podcast, and I don't know if we've asked a question so far this league. Do you think build variety is the highest it has ever been?
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
Right?
Actually,
yeah, without question.
When people
I think
ask,
just like the go ahead, Miso.
I was gonna say when people ask me what the meta is right now, I can't really pinpoint it.
I can't tell you.
Nope. It's so good.
Like even like looking at all the Runeforge low level uniques that are like turning into builds, like you have Hymnor's build, there's just so much new shit across the board. They've got all the ward skills, minions across the board have been leveled up, so there's probably so many like random minion builds that still have to be discovered. Like this patch is freaking nuts. I don't know how else to say. There's no patch that has compared to it even close. Not even close.
Like,
Yep.
I can name a couple really popular builds, but I don't know if I'd call them like the meta. Like they're fine, they're good, but I wouldn't be like, yeah, this is like the best out there.
That's always going to be the case. There's always going to be one ascendancy or one build archetype that's going to be at the 20% level on PoE Ninja. That's always going to be the case. But I just felt like this league is so far it is crazy in terms of variety in builds. So
yeah, agreed. There's too much to play, and that's a good thing. Next build, Miso, you want to do yours?
Sure. This is gonna be from a previous podcast guest, Mr. Dreadful. Shout outs to him. He made a really cool Chayula build, basically working off of the Chayula remnants. because there is a new spirit gem that makes it so that whenever you pick up a remnant, it explodes for damage, and the damage type is based off of what remnant that you pick up. And it's a poison build, so auto bomber, poison build, Chayula. You walk around, you pick up remnants, they blow up, and they stack poison on enemies. Is really really cool. Really like definitely did not even know that this existed, and I feel like that's like half the things this league where I'm like, wait, this is a thing, this is a skill, this is an item. Like I feel like there's just so much to be left to be discovered, and just Dreadful is cook it. He cooked this build up for sure.
Yeah. The cool thing about the Chiyula remnants too is you can use Kachal's rejuvenation in it, so you're just getting giga cooldown recovery when you're playing that style. So
Yeah.
it's awesome. But yeah, that's a sick build. Yeah, it was a really good auto bomber. Yeah,
there's been a lot of auto bombers this league, especially because of repulsion.
Yes,
right?
there have. Repulsion.
I was about to say when Cal just mentioned the rejuvenation one, I'm right now I'm preparing a auto bomber, so yeah. It's a very good support gem. Very good support gem.
It is a very good support
especially
gem.
on Oracle.
I'm surprised it's so cheap. Who drops it? Is it
It's
Garukan's map, right?
It's the Garukan's one, yeah. So
yeah,
it's like the second child there, so it's
the fake it's the fake tink that I get all the time.
It's the fake tink. Yep. All right. Do you want to let's go on to shout out to Dreadful, previous podcast guest, another awesome, and he's churning builds like crazy. By the way, I'm seeing a new build video from him every 2 days, so he is loving the patch as well. So shout out to Dreadful. Let us move on to Rabbit's build.
Yeah.
Wait,
I was kind of debating with
myself. Build? It's not an assay build?
No, it's not an assay build.
This build's crazy.
I was kind of debating with myself whether to showcase this one because honestly, like I will do this build, and I'm kind of like I kind of wanted to be one of the first ones to do this build, but seeing how the build has now like 30,000 clicks or something in a day, honestly, and I hope like I don't think I'm over exaggerating here. It's honestly one of the craziest builds that I've seen in Piri 2 ever. It's 20,000 mana on a shaman, mana stacking. He's one shot. Like in this case, it's not a clickbait thing. He's actually one shotting everything. It looks like he's just like the finger touch of death or something. And at the same time, he has, like I said, 20,000 mana. So he's tanking Arbiter one shots at the same time. It is nuts. There's so much tech in this build. Once again, I really hope that once people are interested in these kinds of builds, that they go into the original creators' videos, please, and watch it all and watch what they do, because I'm never gonna do a good job at explaining it. This build is nuts. There's so much tech in there. I'm super interested right now in this build because he's using an amulet that I'm trying to figure out how to craft that one and how to make that, because it's super weird. I didn't even know you could go to 20,000 mana. Of course, he's using the new fork, so it's honestly it's one of the sickest build that I've seen. Disclaimer: it's expensive.
Very expensive. Runeseeker's Call is probably my favorite unique in the patch right now, just specifically because I like playing bonded rune builds on Shaman. But if you're playing a Runeseeker's Call build on a Shaman, the potential, like, you're going to see over the course of a month a lot of Runeseeker Shaman builds come up because the bonded runes in that weapon is nuts. And you're going to be able to do some goofball-ass stuff. But yeah, this build's nasty. Of course, Rabbit showcasing another mana. Of course, he wants to play another Mana Flare build. Did you do a Mana Flare build last patch? Wasn't that the looping Mana Flare build?
And I'm doing one right now. as we speak, I leveled. People that listen to the podcast get a little sneak peek. But yeah, I'm doing an Oracle Mana Flare Auto Bomber right now. So
hell yeah, Mana Flare is crazy. Yeah, this build's nasty, and 20k mana is stupid. Yeah, cool.
Because it's also your defensive layer, and then you slap Archmage on it, and you just
it's free.
More blue life. More blue life.
Exactly. Superior.
Here I am struggling to get 7,000 life on my ritualist. Damn. This guy.
Oh, by the way, life. The Wrath Pit he just showed, just the Wrath Pit, by the way, is like 3,500 divines. Just as a disclaimer, by the way.
Wow.
You don't need that.
Mirror Wrath Pit.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to our guest build. We actually have a guest build of the week. Gazi is going to be showcasing us his. Well, go ahead, Gazi.
Oh, it's the Gambling Legionnaire Unearth. Like I mentioned before, it's a big shout out to Lolash, who did this as a project when I was doing the SRS build. Essentially, it's just diving down on the qualities. Split personality can be used in builds like this, but it's not worth it for this setup. Basically, it's just getting 36 unearthed scorpions that runs faster than a train across the battlefield, and they're temp minions. So you don't want them to outrange you because then they die and you have to resummon them. So we sacrifice, allowing us to use our skeletons as corpses. We used to use unearth on a bunch of clerics. But basically, wherever the minions goes, you have to go. It's just crazy. Once they start running, they just go.
They are so
crazy.
fast. Oh my god.
That's so fun looking. That looks crazy.
Yeah, it's nutty, and they get over 100% more attack speed, not increased, more attack speed from the Gemling Ascendancy. Like it's crazy amount of damage that they have, and you get so many of them, and you basically just run and try to keep up with your minions, which is not something we've ever seen before. Because normally we struggle with keeping our minions to have them keep up with us. But on this build, it's literally the opposite, and it's great for breaches. Is you just have to keep up with them, and it's wild. But it's been very fun to play with the build because normally you just run after your minions and wherever they go, because they aggro shit outside of the screen, as you can see here. They aggro shit outside the screen and they just run off to it.
This looks so fun.
Some of the minions, they ran off to a target. You see how I have 0 unearth minions left there? That was them running off to a target that was outside of their leash range. So they ran to try to kill something on the right side of the screen, but they outranged me, so they fell over. They're that fast. So it's really fun to play, and it does really well for breaches. But it's been fun.
I feel like I'm watching a Zerg player.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It's like just 6 pooling Zerg rush.
Are you max quality?
Yes. We oil Paragon, that's another 5%. We have 5% Kurgle suffix of the amulet, and then bonded from the Fox Idol on the chest, that's another 5%, 20% from the general quality. Like, you get a lot of quality out of this. So it's kind of crazy what you can achieve with this. And then you have the moat system. The Gemling Legionnaire, the changes it did to it made it a little bit interesting with the moat system. So we have a stupid amount of moats as well. So because you just smack in skills you don't even use in your skill board just to generate moats. But it's been a really cool build. Like, really cool.
Oh yeah, you have a lot of moats at the top there.
Yeah.
I guess you don't get to use Darkness of Throne though, because you have you're playing minions, right?
Yeah, well, you could. You don't actually need minion splash for this because you have so many of them. But it is slightly better, so I'm using a minion splash belt.
This is so cool. This is sick. Yeah. I remember seeing the unearth because because Gemling this league is just insane, right? Like the amount of stuff you can do with the class, and then you have split personality, which I guess last podcast we didn't give enough credit to it because I think Palstron maybe didn't understand, or none of us knew that you could just unspec off the Gemling side of the tree and then actually just have a full start from like another part of the tree. But split personality Gemling stuff.
Wait, really? I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, so
like if I physically path to the other end of the tree and then I just remove the nose and the gem, I'm stuck over there?
No, you can't remove the gem, but
yeah,
you basically take a dual socket, connect to wherever you want to start with, and then you unsocket that gem, and you take a socket that's closer to where you from the new place, and then you can start unspecking the nose. You still have the dual socket in, but you connect it to both starting zones. But you take a closer jewel. Say you're a Gemling and you want to be a witch, for example. You put the socket in the closest one to Gemling, travel to the witch, and take a socket that's closer to the witch. Move the jewel to that node instead, and now you can unspec everything that you have down at the south.
So literally, it's just Pathfinder. You're the Pathfinder. You get to start at another spot. You just get down every class now.
That's cool. I've played with one split personality, but I didn't do that. So cool. That opens up a lot of crazy shit to do.
Like, this build doesn't use split personality. There's no reason for it. It's actually better with this because we're armor evasion based. I just finished. I'm going to play it tomorrow as well to see if there's any changes we want to make for high budget version of this. But I do have plans for making a split personality build, but I didn't want to make one because they tend to get pretty expensive. So my next build project will be requiring a split personality. I just don't want to say which one, because if I do that, people will scalp the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But it won't be for this.
How's Armor EV, Phil?
I was a little concerned with armor, but I got about 25k armor and 30 something 40,000 for against Ellie. With the layered approach of evasion, only like boss hits, red flash, big explosions are really a problem. But they're not a problem. Just don't stand in them. So what I did now with the high body version is you get access to some other options when you go high body with it. So I smacked in loyalty for a wolf pack just to test it out. The only time I've died so far was Jade Isle, actually. The first phase of him, I thought when he was dead, I leaned back, and then he did a slam off screen that touched my little pinky toe or something.
The classic.
So I died to that, but those are very, very, very clearly telegraphed. You shouldn't stand in them to begin with, especially not when you have one resurrect available on a juiced up maps with triple tablets and everything and 6 modded tier 16. Like, you just don't stand in them. They just don't do that. But outside of that, I haven't died on the build. It's been super comfortable, very simple to play. But I think I'd actually survive that even if I get crit if I have loyalty, because I just barely died. That's pretty nice.
Cool. Good to hear. You're going to ExileCon, right?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Well, the three of us will definitely get to see you there. Thank you for coming on the podcast. It was a wonderful conversation. Pleasure. Finally getting to talk about Minions. Can you let our viewers know where they can find you and watch you over the coming, rest of Path of Exile 2?
It's just Gassy TV across the board. Twitch, YouTube, you name it. Twitter. Or it's called X these days. Getting old. But yeah, that's just Gassy TV across the board. Continuously doing some stupid crafts, wasting currency, and testing new minion builds is basically the main focus right now.
Hell yeah. And we'll have his video linked down below as well. Make sure you guys check it out because it is freaking awesome. Take it away, guys. Let's get us out of here. Miso, go ahead.
All right. As per usual, Miso X Shiro across all the platforms again. Twitter, X, whatever, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that. Come check me out there. And stream every night on Twitch. So come hang out. I'm still on the Bitter Dead build. We just did a big, for me, it's really big. I spent like 2 locks worth of currency on crafting my gear. So we're pumping right now. We're doing good. The build is really flashy. It's super fun. Come check it out and hang out.
Oh yeah. Rabbit?
Yeah, I'm on MySpace still. I don't know, is that still a thing? It is, right? Yeah, I'm on MySpace, so you can watch me there. And yeah, that's me.
You can also find him on his secret OnlyFans account too.
No, it's called it's called Only Plants.
Oh, okay. I see.
There you go. Even though I'm not playing Plants anymore now. No, I stream on Twitch. Come say hi.
Cool.
That's
and
it.
You can watch me on Twitch and YouTube at Kaltorak. I am currently playing a Doomfletch Ritualist, and I'm farming for my next build, so probably be playing that for a few more days. Next week, we have the Bow God himself, Fubgun, on, so that should be an exciting conversation. Thank you again to Gazzy for coming on the podcast, and yeah, we'll see everybody next week. Bye!
Ask Rabbit about the campaign skip.
No,
always.
I kind of wish there was a campaign skip today. I was doing. I don't
Jesus,
know.
no.
The new layouts. The new layouts. No. I'm kidding also, but I got a little bit frustrated today with the new layouts because I don't know them, and then also when the new league is, they completely flip them around. So I was just running it like. Actually, today was the first day where I was like, oh, I wish, but yeah, no.
All right. Well, my stream, we're heading over to Gazzy's co-host on their podcast, Mr. Darth Microtransaction. So I hope you guys enjoy his stream. And of course, as per usual, you guys are awesome. You guys are the best. Don't let anybody tell you guys you're not. We'll see you guys later. Peace.
GG's.
Or as my wife likes to say, the guy with the